Hey, Coms. How are you? Let's see. Just jump into these things. Hello. I don't quite know what I'm doing today. Really just doing a small stream before Amanda and I go to lunch sometime in the soonishly, like hour and a half. Then I might stream again after. But for now, trying to fix sleep schedule. Oh yeah, I know that game. Tried melatonin last night and it knocked me. Yeah, I've tried that before too. It's been limited success for me in the past. Like sometimes it's been great. Other times I felt like I was sort of being smothered to sleep. There's a oddly enough there's a tea that I got. I haven't used it in a while. It has valerian root in addition to other stuff, and it puts you to sleep pretty smoothly, pretty easily. It also gives you funky dreams if you're a dreamer type. So that's also cool. I can find it for you if you're curious in the curious to know more. So let's see, what should I be doing? I need to do a few things. I wanted to actually get the stream names up here for patrons, but I also want to get a paper map for the prototype. Mason, hello. Hello. Crazy. Dreamer type. My name's been I can't get myself up because I start thinking about the dream I had. Pass out again. This stuff isn't bad. I'm a fan of it. I didn't feel like it was difficult to wake up. I haven't used it in a bit. I don't know why. I just haven't had evening tea, I guess, in a while. Well, let's get this patron thing knocked out real quick because I've been meaning to do that. And if I don't do it and just say I've been meaning to do it this whole time, I'll never do it. So let's do that. I wish Patreon had an easier way to like just get the list of names. What is this? Why is this doing this? Discord. And I gotta go patrons, and then it's like relationship manager or something. Yeah. Then I gotta go just active, filters, active, all tiers. Okay. And then I would get it as a CSV. And then I have to open that. That's not good for that. But I can load this now into Google Docs, and then I can copy that to a text file. This is why it doesn't get updated super often. What are my various untitled spreadsheets? What is this? What is this? There. So we're gonna import, upload, drag and droppies. There we go. Import data. Open now. Imported. Okay, there we go. Names. All the way down. Take that. And then I would go into here. And I'll be with everybody in just a moment, I swear. Streaming. New text. What am I doing? Patreon names. Okay. Boop. Okay. So now if I go... Wait, sort myself out. What? Oh, good morning. Oh, I see. Also, there's my dad joining via Facebook. Hello. You might be the first person to come through on Facebook. Well, I'm doing restream, so I'm streaming to Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube all at the same time. So you tend to not see a ton through Facebook just because I haven't set up, like, there's a Facebook gaming like page and stuff you can do, which I haven't. It just goes to the Darkstone page. So I'll watch. Hello. All right. What am I doing? It's patron names. So we're gonna go. The stream's not really over. I'm just doing this. 1 second. 1 second. I'd imagine. Where am I? What am I doing? Okay. Patron names. Okay. I need a file. Where is it? No. Font. Is that for real like a separate thing now? No, get out of here. I'll be with you all in a moment. That was a good stream. What a fun time we have here. Okay, it is just the one text. Okay, so where's the... Oh, there's read from file. I'm dumb. I'm a big ol' silly. Main. Streaming. Patron names. Boop boop. Hey, look at that. Oh my god. Whoops. Change the size of that to not gigantic. I could probably, there's probably a better way than this, but I don't care. I just need to do it once and oh no. There we go. There, that feels good. There we go. And then nailed it. Use Facebook. I mean, it's... You're not wrong. Alignment, center, there we go. Color, there we go. Okay. Now I forget if there's a alignment top. Yep, great. Okay. Now I think I need to add a filter, and then it's gonna be like a transform filter or something. Just scroll. Okay, scroll. Great. Oh, that's really actually not that fast. Look at that. Isn't that neat and professional, everyone? We did it. Except I also want to change the font to be something a little more matchy. Sure, there we go. Boom. Look at all that. Now it thanks the patrons. Yes. Let us remember all the patrons that have passed. That would be really messed up though if one of them did. So let's not do that. They accidentally, like, well, I don't know if you purposely. I mean, I guess you could. Let's not talk about that. But if they just left their credit card information in, I feel pretty bad. Okay, there. I've been meaning to do that forever. So now we've done it. Hooray. If y'all want to see what I've been doing with the prototype here. I was doing modular stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like the way it looks, but I feel like slow mode on Twitch. Is slow mode on Twitch? I don't think so. Is it? Yes, what? Why is Twitch just automatically doing these things? Because I have not touched it. Shield mode is on. I don't know what this is. Shield mode enables settings to protect and restrict chat. I don't Really? LMAO was held? Now it's off? Okay, cool. So it put, yeah. Well, so it's their shield thing. They have some, like, protective extra layer of, you know, protecting everyone's feelings filter on Twitch. And I really don't care. We all know we're nice in here. There we go. Okay. Let's find something that's not just generic background kind of stuff. Beep, 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 boop, 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 boo. You know what? Master Boot Record's always good. I don't think I've ever had any sort of issue with Master Boot Record playing in the background. Though maybe. I'm not sure. Play all. And shuffle. Floop. Next. There. There's something. There's something for us all. So what you making there? I haven't been here for a while. So now that Mortuary Assistant is out and I've done lots of updates to it and it's doing, decent, I am working on a Patreon prototype, which is Sharky. Thank you very much for the sub. Appreciate you. Love you bunches. Thank you. Thank you. Very excited for new things. Me too. So the way Patreon prototypes work is you can only play them if you're a patron when they're done. But they are small play experiences similar to what the original Mortuary Assistant prototype was, but a little bit more involved, like a little more fleshed out. And then I'll basically keep making those, and if one of them sort of gains traction and people really like a certain concept, I may work on that a little more, or I may put that up on itch and see if that resonates with a larger audience, and if it does, that may become the next project. I don't know about this one because it's very different. It is a horror game, that's what I like to do, so that's what I'm going to be doing. But this one is a little more like... Oh, let me turn that down, because I'm assuming it's probably loud for you guys too, if it's loudish for me. I don't know. But this is a horror game, but you are an alchemist collecting your alchemy components and using them to make various potions and gadgets and things, and you're basically like a 1400s Batman, but using alchemy, and you're combating the Spanish Inquisition. You are the only ones who expect it. And so basically the prototype is going to be collecting your stuff, going to your little hidey hole where you can build some things. There's going to be some basic combat, and then an event that sort of highlights the horror aspect, and that's probably going to be it, right? But I've been building some environment stuff just because I want to kind of capture it a bit. And I may, like, I've been doing modular, but it's just too blocky for me, and I could make some other pieces, but I may resort back to building in Maya with trim pieces or trim sheets and some of this other stuff, just because it makes it a little bit easier for me, I think, to like basically build a graveyard kit in Maya. And by graveyard, I mean it's a collection of a bunch of pieces, and I can just kit bash in there, and that way I'm easily able to adjust things and make stuff, and it's easier than building a kit for myself in here, piecing it together, and then it's more draw calls and more work. There's extra geo, like if I go in here you can see there's geo all on the back, which isn't bad if I want to like rotate stuff and do weird things, but not really much of a point. I'm the apothecary. I actually have another first-person horror idea that is more in line with, I think, what people would expect from the Mortuary Assistant guy. So that'll be another one that I'll be working on. But for now, I'm doing this. It's different. It's, I wanted to do something that had some combat, just to mess around. So what we're going to do right now, though, is we're going to work on the paper map for this, because what I need is some sort of layout, figure out what I'm going to do, and then I can go into Maya and start modeling stuff out properly. The subject, Kohei Catastrophe Redux. Booty, what's up? Good to see you. Hi, everyone. What? Yeah, so YouTube has basically clamped down even more on their, I believe it's all ad revenue based, right? You get demonetized if the content, like the game, is violent. So, well, that's the thing, is it's whatever YouTube wants. So that's kind of weird. And then you're basically subject to them looking at it and deciding if it's not acceptable. And YouTube is notoriously opaque when it comes to how they do these things. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Franco, I have no idea why they would choose to do this. They have so many things where it's like they go about it, and this is common for pretty much everywhere, it seems. If the pendulum swung a little too far in the other direction, in the other extreme now, where it's like it's treating all these companies are treating these services as if you just like, oh no, I'm on this channel now, and oh, I've seen something terrible. Well, time to go murder someone, right? Like, it's just like you have zero ability to control yourself, and so because some parent may let their child just browse any YouTube channel and watch whatever. There's a chance they could see something. I mean, but it's really not just that. It's ad revenue, right? Like, the advertisers want to be associated with things that are not gruesome and have a higher chance of seeing as many people as possible. That's what really drives all this stuff, right? So if they can stamp you down into this little box that's a little bit nicer, then they can throw more ads around it, right? They have all the power, there's no competition. Yeah. So many years now against all community response. Yeah, and they just keep going. Non-violent games are for children. I give them violent games so they can be strong. But anyway, yeah, so that, like, even with my stuff, there's blood in it. There's if you, oh yeah, at the end, yeah, there's that one. There's also depictions of suicide attempts, and there's drug abuse, and so it's like, is that within their issue? I don't know, because it's not on the creator. They're gonna not play certain games now? That hurts everyone. That hurts indie developers. That hurts content creators. I wish there was an alternative. I mean, there are, but they're just not. This is the problem, right? Is there are alternatives, but they are not popular enough to be a valid alternative. So people still want to be on the big thing. It sucks. Saw some guy say he was suing YouTube, and all I could think was that if we learn anything from YouTube's policy history is that they'll always do the worst decision. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Ad-based and user interest. Well, I don't know. There's a lot of assumption on what audiences want, right? I'd say movies are a really good example. There's a lot of like trying to check boxes over the past X number of years with movies and stuff, and it's just like it leans on I don't know how to say this. It leans on like exploiting diversity, I would say, instead of writing good characters and just doing a good job making a movie, right? And so the turnaround is immediately this like, you're an awful person if you don't like this movie. And it's this approach. What the point I'm making is this approach of just like assuming they need to be as nice as possible and do things a specific way. Is not working because those movies flop, right? They do not do well. It's just numbers wise, the public doesn't want that. And I think it's the same for this stuff, where it's like Twitch is making this assumption, or rather YouTube is making this assumption that this is going to be okay. And obviously they're working within the interests of ad revenue as well. So they end up doing shit like this, and then people just hate them for it. And I really don't know. I don't know how to remedy that other than have rival platforms, but thanks to just, I mean, I don't know. We just can't seem to be able to have good competition, Like you can't have, I don't know, what was another, oh, I think it was like, wasn't it like DTube or something, but it uses like cryptocurrency. And that's obviously going to throw some people away. Yeah. Yeah, it's like each video. What is this? So here, let's take a look at this. Of course, I don't know. I don't think there's anything TOS here. My partner will get diet pill ads, but I get other ones, and it's like those ads were chosen to be present to specific people, not to be put on the. Yes. Hey, Seth. So, I mean, look at this stuff here, where it's like, I don't know what this is. What is this? DTube coin. Okay, so it's the value of DTube coin. And you use this, like, again, I have not been here in a million years, so I believe you pay per video. Like, in order to watch this, you've got to watch... Why did it say YouTube in the corner? Okay, so you do watch this. Is it like a donation thing, then? I really don't know how this works. But my point is that there are competitors of various types, but they are not popular. They're not big enough, right? And that sucks. Z, thank you very much for the resub. Love you to pieces. Good to see you. They are not Google. Yeah. Yes, yeah, Franco. But that's the issue. Is there's all these. What is it? What's the other one? Vimeo. And this is another one where there's like plans and stuff, and it's just not the same. There's no straight like YouTube competitor, right? Yeah, yes, exactly. So what are you gonna do? Are you gonna take your videos elsewhere? I mean, as much as like things have been crazy over there, if Twitter does follow through with trying to have video hooked up into their system akin to YouTube, I mean, you know, say what you will about everything that has been going on there, but it would be nice to have competitors, you know? I think the problem with other platforms is that they don't feel like home. Like YouTube has been the website I've gone up for every day of my life. Yes. And they are resting on that. They're depending on that. Their advertising dollars are resting on that. They've gotten big and plump, and now they're just resting on the concept that everybody's been here long enough. Where you gonna go? Who you gonna vote for? Someone else? Throw your vote away, right? Twitter's so small, but if the video is done right, who knows? Yeah, exactly. That's the thing, is people really blow out of proportion how important Twitter is. Like, this whole, I mean, we're off the rails here, but this whole side of like, you know, Twitter's the pulse of the world or the country or whatever is complete bullshit, because it's like worldwide, it's got a couple 100 million, I think. And how many of those are just bot accounts and shit? Okay, so 368 million monthly active users worldwide on December 2022, and that's up, obviously. But I mean, that's it. That's it. That's a big number. Don't get me wrong, but that's worldwide. That ain't the pulse of anything. I don't know. I just Googled and it just said December 2022 on the first thing that came up. I'm not going to dig into that. Yeah, Facebook's like 1 billion. It's clearly the largest. But people don't stream on Facebook because Facebook has never been the home for streaming and video, right? It just hasn't been. I mean, like Franco's point, YouTube works because it's where everybody's gone for video. These established sites that survived Web 1.0 and came into, or will they even start in 1.0? I don't know, but I think they probably started in 2.0. But anyway, they've survived the initial, like, you know, hamsterdance.com shit and all that. Like, they've become actual places people go. 2 billion logged in users each month. Yeah, see, that's huge. So they're probably, that's the, like, what are you gonna do? Go somewhere else? So time for you now, by extension, indie developers, time for you to temper what you make to make sure what you make can be played on YouTube, so that content creators will want to play your game so they can make content and make videos and make money off their videos, right? It has this ripple effect that really sucks, because part of the problem being an indie developer is discovery is insanely difficult, right? So we talk so much about one of the issues I see the most with video games is that they are not risk-taking. These big video game companies, they make the same thing, and indie games do the weird shit, right? They do the stuff that they're more agile. They have the ability to be more agile. Like me, it's just me. If I don't like something, I can be like, and do the next thing, right? Big companies, they've got a problem. They're like, well, how do we turn this around, and spend another year working on something before they either decide to sunset it or push it out before it's done, right? So basically, indies can make weird stuff and push the envelope on things in terms of like subject matter or concepts. And the problem, though, is they need to sell. They need to make money. And that's not going to happen if they don't get the exposure they need for people to realize their game exists. It's a really shitty situation, you know? So, yeah, YouTube's choices on how they want to run things affect more than just the YouTube platform. Hey, Turtle. Literally a quarter of the world population. Yes. Bethesda and Rockstar for taking their time on their releases, even if they're buggy, at least they have substance and heart. Yeah, you know, they're putting time in. It's such a weird business, right? Because on one hand, people will be like, yeah, take your time, make it awesome. And then there will be a whole other group that's like, yeah, well, I guess it's never coming out. It's been 3 years or something, you know? Yeah, I won't move away from horror. I won't. I shan't. Anyway, let's, we're gonna make a building map here. And I want to have, I mean, a player is going to be like this size, I think. Maybe a little less. Maybe 3 people wide. I want to have a lot of like close quarter feel going on here. Well, that's why, Sharky, thank you for gifting that 1 month sub to Semper Turtle. You are a beautiful human being. I assume you're a human being, I'm sorry. True, yes, it could be a shark learning to type. The games need time, yes, especially those huge ones where they're like, especially if they're going to make the claims of like, are you going to be able to do all this crazy stuff? Like, everyone should be skeptical then when they're like, going to be out in a month. Alright, so I don't want this to be very big. I want this to, I want to try and stick between a hybrid of small environment stuff like I like to do, like I did for Mortuary Assistant, and something that makes sense for a prototype, right? Like, I want to have some areas that feel like you're open and wandering around. I don't know, we'll see what I can do. I need a few places to be able to wander around to. And let's see, we're gonna have Inquisition people showing up. What's that? Oh. Alright, so what's gonna happen? You're gonna be in your little hut thing or building thing. And we're gonna need a wall. I don't want to have, I don't want the player to be able to leave anywhere. Maybe I'll do, doesn't really matter. This stage I'm just sketching out a map, so we'll make a big old stop sign. The point of all the ramble is people should be able to make what they want and be trusted to be responsible. And companies can decide if they want to advertise on that or not, you know? If they really, truly are uncomfortable with that and their ad dollars, then... I mean, they already have YouTube Kids, but clearly that's not enough, so... Sub Turtle, thanks for putting out a community sub gift. Cool, cool, cool. I don't remember that ever built an entire house in a game using a 3D model of a single brick. I mean, maybe? Sounds awful, but I guess if you wanted to do like crazy physics stuff everywhere, you could probably handle it now. Maybe in Unreal with their micro whatever it is. Well, that's true. That's actually... Aw, isn't it? Law passed me to be able to advertise to children. There's no money. Yeah, probably. So they want to accidentally... Well, that's true. They have introduced ads on Disney Plus, so I guess not. Unless they're going to make the argument that they are advertising to adults through Disney Plus. Oh, so at launch until we figure out how we could do it legally. So we'll have some water along here. Be like our little thingamajig. Maybe a well. Do a well here, I think, in the middle. And then maybe I'll do like a sewage runoff thing. Because that'd be cool and gross. I've been working my final project for school, which is a text-based RPG in the Windows console, and even making this small of a scale game has been yeah, it can get pretty hefty pretty fast. And so you've got all this, maybe there'll be like a main gate over here. Maybe these are like market stall things or something. I don't know. We'll see. Kind of making up something. I mean, it's based very loosely on 1400s Spain, like peasantry area, but why just utilize the age restriction function more? I don't know, right? Like, that's what's so interesting to me is like they have this concept of like monetization, limited monetization, and demonetization, right? And it just seems like, you know, there are adult brands that want to advertise to adults. Just flag your stuff as for adults and get the adult brand ads and just, you know, step it that way. Same for Twitch. Like, I mean, I have my stream set to 18 plus, I believe still. So I feel like, I don't know, the nudity thing is weird, but like, you know, for artists, pretty common to be drawing naked people, right? Supposedly that's okay now on Twitch. I really am not certain. I think it's like, the rule is like if it's not the focus in like a game you're playing or the things you're drawing, then it's okay. Yes, that's what I thought, Zero. And that's really just to cover my bases, right? My stream, I would say, is pretty all-age friendly for the most part. Though I will swear randomly, or we may watch something on YouTube that may be a bit more mature or something. So it's really just to make sure that, any, not anymore apparently. But I think it's just better to cover your bases that way than just be like, oh yeah, I'm for everybody, and then the one time, I accidentally catch something on my desk on fire and swear up a storm. Yeah, yeah. And that's the thing, is like, it's not like I aim to be family friendly. It's not like, I start up, I'm like, hey kids, welcome to the stream. Today we're going to be learning to make a video game, right? Like, none of that stuff. It's just, yeah, I just, the subject matter and what I do just is normally pretty all age friendly. Let's see, I think we put some other houses here. This might be a cool one to have here. Like a, maybe have a bit more of a road structure in here, because it's like a loop now that I'm seeing, so maybe I could do like a loose stone thing here. To here, and then it's kind of like through here. There's a little bit of a loop. I get this. That. We need to figure out where we're going to lunch today. Amanda and I, what's that? Tacos? I thought about that. I don't know. It does. I do love tacos. We've made it a thing that we go out to lunch every Friday to a place, just to get out of the house, because we're always in the house, and just have some us time. And like I said, I'll be going to that in about an hour, and then I'll probably come back and stream again. But yeah, the tacos is very good. Greetings, stoners. Yeah, that is the term. Dark stoners, or just stoners in general, I guess. In Sweden, we have tacos every single Friday. All of Sweden does. My wife and I do that every Saturday for brunch. Yeah, yeah. My partner wanted tacos all the time. Like, that would make me happy. Well, tacos are delicious. I was just also like uncertain if maybe we wanted to try a new place, but new places would imply like New Haven or something, and I don't know if we want to do all that. That's kind of more involved. And, yeah, I was also thinking Indian of some kind, but yeah, I think tacos might be the best bet. It is faster as well, and it is super good. Like, it's a predictable, delicious thing. So I want these buildings kind of close together, because all the like medieval Spain stuff I've seen is pretty close together. Unless you're like farmer area. This is sort of like a pseudo farm area / little town thing, and then I'm putting a wall around it because I want to keep the player from being able to go places. Very like scheduled when it comes to food every week. That's crazy. New place equals risk. Risk equals unhappiness. Tacos equals tacos. Tacos equals happiness. That's very true. That is the problem. Anytime you want to try something new, there's the risk. That's why a lot of times when I go to a restaurant, because it's not like we go to a restaurant all the time, or the same restaurant all the time. But if we go to one we've been to before, I'll often end up ordering the same thing that I got last time, because I know it's good, and you don't go out often enough to be like, oh, I'm gonna try all the things. You're just like, I know this is good. I've gone out. I don't go out all the time, so I'm gonna make sure this is tasty experience. And yeah. So I think you're right. I think you're all right. All of you. Maybe I'll make this like a circle. Circles are cool. Some sort of circle building. Or at least some sort of curve to the building. There we go. And then maybe I'll have like a secondary road shoot off here. And just kind of dead end. And nothing. And there'll be another like hut thing or something there. I just need something that feels condensed but doesn't have too much, you know? That's all I really want. And then I think maybe a little oval thing, a little hidey hole thing will be over here. And this can just be like an open area. Maybe even some trees. Crazy. Hey, Spinner. Or Piner. I don't know. Hello. A cafe I used to visit used to know my order, and they were like, don't you want to try something else? So I'm like, I like this. I'm here. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And not only that, once they know your order and can, like, get it ready for you faster, I guess, technically. Let's see you come in, and they're like, I don't know if it's to that level, but if they're like, start this guy's stuff. And then you want to try something new, you've thrown a wrench in the works, right? There's a point of no return where you have a responsibility to order the same thing. They do, that's funny. Let's look this up again. Images. So if we look, all this stuff is. I guess this sort of stuff, but I've seen older things that are not pretty like that, and that's what I want. I want the gross, ugly, old stuff. See, like this sort of stuff here. Thanks, Alwash. I mean, I'll make it bigger and make it a little clearer, but... I look, pizzeria staff know me on a first name basis because I eat there so often. You guys are all... I don't think we're regulars anywhere. If anything, I think the taco place is where we've gone to the most. They should know us by now. Morning, Nate. I love watching this craze, by the way. I just don't really know how to talk about it. That's fine. It's foreign to me since I've only ever done... It's like watching. Yeah, I mean, I'm bouncing all over the places because I'm kind of making stuff up here, right? Like, this isn't really... I mean, it is based off of Spanish architecture, obviously, and like, somewhat what these towns look like, but at the same time, the area I'm looking at is more like this sort of thing, where it's like this is the vibe more of this sort of like small town thing, but I also want it to feel condensed, so I'm kind of going for this as well. It's interesting, but I think I can find some good use for this. Got some plaster. I may redo my brick to not be the red brick and instead be something like this. Got some things in Substance, I think. I'm not gonna... I was like, yeah, I could sculpt some stuff in ZBrush. I'm like, I really don't want to spend all the time to do that for a prototype. If it's something I want to do, then I may go in and like, look at these crazy rocks from all this broken shit. Like, you know, go in and do that. Oh yeah, good old Book of Blood. See, what I need to do I'm not following it for this because I'm, trying to get a little bit more in depth. What I need to do for these prototypes is I need to do what I did for Mortuary Assistant, where I give myself a week and just be like, do something, get anything out. It just makes you really cut the unnecessary corners, right? Where I'm like, okay, I need to make a building, just put bricks on a box and there we go, right? Will there be a hair shirt? Just a shirt made of hair. Some section is more some side alley offshoot. The condensed section is more of a straighter one. So that is sort of what's happening here. If we clarify this a smidgen, we are gonna have like a different layer. There we go. And so we're gonna have sort of a circular area-ish that's like town center. I was gonna have it offshoot to a main gate that you come in from, and then off this probably. Maybe I'll go a little more like there. I think there's gonna be like a well in the center, all that kind of stereotypical stuff, and then there might be some shop stuff here, like stalls. That'll make it feel a little more peasant-y because it'll be like wood and stuff. And so, well, and it's a pretty small area because the player's like this big. Like these alleyways, the big ones are like 3 abreast. Hey, Jesse. Deving is going all right. Planning out some paper mappage here. How big are you thinking the map will be? Not huge. Sort of torture device. What? Learned about it recently. It was used in the Spanish Inquisition. So yes, Rebecca, I have done some research just for writing my design doc. I have a thing. I shared it on Patreon. But what is it called? Let's see. Hair shirt. What the fuck? Hair shirt. Shirt made of hair. They're released today. Shirts were originally woven from goat hair and worn next to skin to keep the wearer in constant discomfort and awareness of the shirt's presence. Ugh. Bits of metal woven with hair. Today, the site of self-torture survives. Jesus. Okay, so it was like it was a torture, but sounds like a more not mild torture, I guess, because you're always wearing it. But it's not the same as the rack or whatever, right? Yeah, I would say similar to Book of Blood size, though it'll feel more populated. I'm just going to use a lot of the same stuff. Like I'm going to make a few texture sets and then model all those things out and just build buildings. Because again, prototype, don't want to go too crazy, but I want it to feel like a place. So I'll be finding a balance there. Yeah, but basically I'm going Spanish Inquisition. I have made up sort of a deviation in Christian lore. The concept is, if anyone has seen the show Midnight Mass, the concept is basically that people instantly fucked up and started following false prophets and went down just like basically as soon as Jesus left, they were like, oh well, this guy says he could talk to God, so sure, yeah, this must be it. And then basically the exploitation of it all was a chance for the devil to get his hooks in, and so now the angels that people have seen are actually demons, and they're pretending to be angels because that's what people believe they are, and the whole Inquisition is extra evil on top of the evil that it was. And so you as an alchemist are obviously sort of you're in witchcraft territory as far as someone who would need to be purified, right? So there is this sort of underground network of alchemists that sort of combat the Spanish Inquisition in places. And so the concept for the prototype is that you're going to be doing some of the alchemy stuff. There'll be like one or two things you make and things you collect, and there will be a bit of minor combat, and then one spooky setting and event that sort of sets up what the horror element is. And that's basically all I'm trying to shoot for with this. I really don't want to, obviously, again, prototypes don't want to go absolutely insane with everything. And I like these bendy roads because I like the shots I can potentially have with buildings sort of staggered at different heights and stuff along these curves. It also helps for occlusion culling because instead of a straight shot where I'm drawing everything, I have basically if I'm standing here looking out here, this building stops everything and then everything draws to here, and then these buildings would stop drawing along here. You wouldn't draw any of this. Any buildings here, you wouldn't draw all that, right? So it keeps it also keeps that claustrophobic feeling, which is what I really want. Hey, Ice Cree again. Yes, cool. Usually self-inflicted torture. They wanted to apologize. Yes, that's what I just read, Ice Cree. You appear to be correct from the limited research I just did. Take a look at the Spanish city Ronda. I'm pronouncing those things properly, I'm sure. There's 14 in the same beautiful city and also very hot. Yeah. Oh, neat. So yeah, this sort of stuff, like, this is what I would do if it were to become like a full. That's cool. That's some Lord of the Rings shit right there. That's so awesome. You know, obviously I don't want to be making Assassin's Creed with a giant fucking city, but the idea is there would be different parts of Spain you would travel to. Traveling around this network and going from place to place. And I wanted to do, it's a marriage of this concept in a game I used to play a long time ago called Blade Warrior. And I want to have like traveling in between these locations, and that's like the picking up the alchemy components and stuff like that. And then you go to the cities and you find a place where you can do your work pretty much, and find the problem cells or whatever. But yeah, that's the concept. Oh. Top of the mountain, yeah. Maybe we do like actually let me do another layer here because I want to do the roads. I'll do the roads in black, do the buildings in blue, just for clarification for me, make it a little easier to understand. That way when we come back after the lunch break, I'll be able to just start hopefully building things. So a little offshoot here, probably not going to be perfectly straight, but whatever. Let's change to blue because that's a cool color. Lorca, hey! Mega Steak Man, thank you for the follow. How you doing? Hello. Also, Lorca, how are you doing? Hello. I need to get back on, like, actually watching other streams. I haven't been on Twitch for stream viewing in a very long time. I usually, by the time I'm like, I'm gonna sit down and work, I'm like, I'm gonna just put on YouTube. think I'll signify that this is like lower or something, maybe. Doing some level design. Yeah, I'm doing a new prototype for Patreon, and I wanted to just get an idea out here. I just want to I want to know what I'm laying out. Basic scale concept, you know. I just realized I own one of your games. Really? Which one? Which one? Right, yeah, RC. Oh, okay, good. I like RC Cupola. The subject. Kohate's fine too, but it's still not everything it could be, I guess. I don't know. So these buildings are going to take up a good amount of space. And I want to have, like, I like the idea of some wet, muddy, gross alleyways here. Because I want you to feel like you kind of, like, it's a little more condensed than it actually is, and you're kind of sneaking around. So obviously I'm not thinking too much onto like the design of what these buildings are. I really kind of want to just have the basic shapes and have an idea of what I'm building here. And over here will be our little shop. Some smaller buildings. Let's go all the way. That, and then if I could, basically what I want is you're gonna start here pretty much in your little area, and I want you to come out and just have a little bit of like, okay, it's a small area, small. You come out here and you're like, oh, it opens up a bit. And then you come out here and you're like, oh, it's a big open area, right? Like I want this to kind of breathe a little bit, which means I may want to block this off with something, but I don't know. Any thoughts on doing a multiplayer game? Yeah, I've had multiple thoughts about multiple things, including a multiplayer game. But there's only so much I could do at any given time, obviously. But yes, I actually have a concept for a multiplayer mortuary assistant. But like, I really need to section up like what I do, because I have obviously I've got mortuary assistant stuff I want to do. I'm working on a new update for it that has a new ending that would set up for some DLC. And then I also have my work on Creepshow that I'm doing. There's another thing on the horizon here, and then there's the Patreon prototypes. So if I were to do any multiplayer stuff, it would probably be for a Patreon prototype. That's kind of where I want my messing around with stuff to live. Just so that patrons get something out of supporting more than just a nice warm feeling. But I also want to do like VR for a mortuary assistant, but I want to do it right. I don't want to just like slap headset support on top of the game that's already there. I want to have you be able to like actually cut open things and move stuff, right? So Creepshow's going well. I mean, it's in early stages. I'm creative director on it, so I'm not doing a lot of personal like model. I mean, I did. It's a small team, so everybody's wearing a lot of hats, right? And eventually there will be more people brought on, but it's in pre-pro stage right now. I'm trying not to obviously say much about it because it's not my project, right? It's Dread's. But yeah, pre-pro stage is going well. Should be going into full-on stuff soon. Also, we are looking for environment modelers. We have one, I believe, lined up, but looking for someone to be sort of a lead type that can take some of the stuff from myself and the art director and disseminate it down to other people and sort of help define the pipeline for things. So if you know anybody or you are somebody, hit me up and send me a portfolio. Let's have fun with a nice warm feel. Also take a look, Spanish town. Albarracin, especially the street view model on Google. Yeah. Love stuff like that. Let's get this hair shirt out of here and check out this town. Yeah, this is great. See, a lot of this stuff is in the same vein, right? Ooh, this. Get out of here with this shit. Do 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 do. Is it actually larger? It is. Okay, cool. Whoa, it's way bigger. But this sort of stuff, like I love this sort of stuff. This multi-level, really close quarters stuff. Like this claustrophobic feel is what I really want. Again, I've got to be careful for something this small. Like something like this would be for like a full version, because I'd want to put a lot of detail into it. I get excited by this stuff, so I'd want to really like put everything into this. My background is as a world builder, so this stuff is really cool to me. But for the prototype, it would be something sort of like this, you know? Still using Unity as your engine? Yes. Yeah, just because, Gunnar, I'm used to that. And I started working on this stuff, and I'm still working on other things that keep me in Unity. So as far as like time value, jumping into Unreal right now to learn it, there's just no justification for it really, other than I want to learn it because people keep asking me to learn it, or I have a personal desire to learn some of it, right? But I gotta be responsible and on top of my my time, because it is, as we were just talking about, it's mildly limited with, there's a lot of stuff going on and I don't want to add more spinning plates. Some questions about our secret below. Did you say you were adding content to it, and was it always on Steam? It is, yeah, it was always on Steam. It was on Steam first. I have been adding not necessarily new content. I mean, sort of. I've been adding additional things to help you achieve ending 2 and 3 a little easier. Just some minor code things that clean it up and make things not so tedious on ending 3. And some things that will help point out what you need to do. And then I've also been moving over to the new Unity input system to make it a little easier to hopefully try and put it on like Xbox or something. I really want to take a stab at console porting myself and just see how horrible a process it is. Game dev right now, I'm starting with Unreal. There's nothing wrong with Unreal at all. You're a world builder in Unreal? Yeah, well, I mean, that's actually how I started a long time ago. Like before I got into the industry, I was doing all my work in Unreal. This was before the Earth's crust cooled, and regular Unreal Tournament was it, and the Unreal Engine attached with that. I used that, and that's how I did like world building and editing, like texture packs and stuff, and all sorts of things. So I'm certainly not a stranger to it, and I've used it since then. I used it in school as well a long time ago. Messed with it a bit in my personal time before I started at Disney, and then since then, which has now been 7 years, 7.5 years, something like that since then. So obviously it's changed a lot. So it wouldn't be a completely foreign experience to me, but it would take time to get past like the god-awful UI stuff that Unreal has, and kind of get to a usable state. Just last I checked it out, they still have like a lot of like, I mean, obviously some of the terminology is still going to be the same from a million years ago, but it seems like it feels like they've layered new things on top of other old things, because it's like, to get to this thing, go to this tab, through this tab, and this tab to this tab to get to here. Hey, Kilogram. Alron, hello. Back in UDK, yup. Did enjoy how much of a challenge it was, and I love how the story really comes together after the first playthroughs. Do an easy video, an essay video, easy video. One of those easy videos, you know. The god awful UI, yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I actually like. I prefer Unity's UI, because everything's right there, right? Like it's game objects and scripts attached to game objects. It is far easier for me to grok. Except Turtle, thank you for gifting the 1 month to Warka. You're beautiful, thank you. Yes, working on a new prototype, a Patreon prototype. For, you guessed it, the patrons. Alright, and then this is going to be some big old building thing to just fill up some space, because I don't know if I'm going to want to do a whole bunch of stuff. Maybe I'll break it up when I get there. I might do some neat, like, walkway, like, under some archway things to, like... Actually, that'd be kind of cool. Let's see about maybe doing that. We'll see. I don't know if I'll do it, but let's just draw it in there, because that'd be neat. And then... more stuff... more stuff, and I think I'm just going to close that off. Or at least I'll connect it. I'll connect it. Just do it like that. And then probably just have a wall there. So there's basic buildings, pretty simple. The roads stuff is... and there's lots of room. Or actually, here, let's... we were going to close that off. And then maybe I'll go... Because I really want the player to start here, and I want them to go to here, and then to here, so I have control over the level of things they see, right? You got it from Itch? Oh. Thanks, Sharky. Awesome. And obviously that's going to be where the update goes first. Because I'm trying to get it to also work on Steam Deck, you know, with the controller support. Obviously, this stuff is going to change as I get these made. I also think the idea of being in like an alleyway, so maybe I'll move it forward to here. So your little place, your little home is in this alleyway. Maybe I'll connect it back to here. I don't know. I like the idea of it being in an alleyway that connects to other things. So maybe I will let you go through to like here. I keep the wall here instead. We'll hold off replaying until the update. Yeah. Time frame. Well, let's see. I've been working on this. It should be soon. I'm trying to think of what's left to do here, because I think there's some menu UI stuff, because I'm still, like, menu control stuff in the, like you said, you've beaten the game once, so the second menu, there's some control stuff that needs to be taken care of in there. And I think some adjustments to the asides, or the indexes, the small ones, they're a little obtuse at the moment. I'd like to make them a little easier to understand. So I mean, we're looking at a couple weeks probably because I'm obviously not doing it nonstop because I'm doing this plus Mortuary Assistant stuff plus Creepshow stuff, and there's console porting for Mortuary Assistant, so there's testing that as the porting team puts builds out, that sort of stuff. What's your game? This one gonna be about? You are an alchemist fighting the Spanish Inquisition, basically. You're like an alchemy Batman. These all just going to be kind of cobbled together little shops and lean-to things and stuff. Your usual town squarey thing. All right. Cool. So there's that. We've got our roads. Let's get our gate in here. And our wall. It's not gonna be blue. Just gonna close all that together. I want to do so many like cool layering things and stuff, but I gotta restrain myself. I'm like, oh, it'd be really cool to like add an extra alley here and do this. It's like, no, there's no point to that. Prototype, prototype, prototype. Simple, and then here we'll do a brown, I guess, just so I've got in there. That's the water. And this is really just like some shallow water runoff from everyone dumping their poo out windows and stuff, you know? Yup. Oh no! The future is here, dating AI. YouTube. YouTube's got the real spam bots. Snow Leopard prototype. Patreon prototype. For another 20 minutes, and then I'm going to lunch, and then I'll probably stream again when I get back. So don't you worry. Little gatey thing in the wall. Need to join Patreon. You should. Boom. There. Wait, is that going to work? Yay! Stream Elements. You did it for Twitch. Doesn't look like you did it for YouTube. Oh, there it is. Hey, all right. Look at that. Look at that. Good job, Restream. Thank you. Good robot. Oh, no, it's not. Okay. So this is pretty straightforward. I don't think this is anything crazy. It's not too many buildings. It's not huge. So now that I've got this paper map, move our reference over here. And like I said, the modular stuff, while acceptable, I don't think it's going to provide me what I want to be able to do. It's going to be a lot easier to build a kit in Maya, basically build what I want, and then if I have to make something bespoke and use one of my existing texture sheets, it's a lot easier than being like, oh no, I've got a gross hole in this box that I've had to make because I don't want to go back and make a million other shapes. Where in Maya I can just be like curved wall, right? So it'll also save on Geo because I won't have back-facing stuff like this. Look at that gross road, though. I made it all wet in between the stones. And then I put some alpha on it so it fades into the mud here. That's going to be cool, I think. Lighting outside is a little weird. I haven't done any real work on it since the initial setup, so I'll have to do some things there. Oh, thank you very much, Leopard. I appreciate it. So moist. People like shiny shit. That is a lesson. When in doubt, make it shiny, and people will be like, ooh. Take my hard-earned time. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Obviously, do not have to put it there, but I appreciate that you have. Thank you, thank you. It's a fun tickle in the eyeball. That sounds inappropriate, but tickling anything sounds questionable, so I guess, you know, what are you gonna do? All right, so the next step is gonna be to take all this stuff and be like, swear those in. One thing we can do, I can just throw this on a plane in Maya so I can at least be like, oh, I need to build this building about this size. And I can sort of get to building that. That'd be kind of cool. All right, yeah, let's do that. Why not? And then I can scale it to the appropriate size. What am I doing? Development, projects, Patreon Raw, JPEG, map. Okie dokie. And then we're going to make a player scale, which is going to be a height of 1.8 by 0.5.5. There's our person. Hooray! I'm using Unity movement. There we go. Eight. Hey, Sheepwall. Is that something we're tickling as your fancy? I suppose that's okay. Development, projects, Patreon Raw, map. Oh, good. The UVs are totally in the right spot. There. So now, whee! Beautiful. I'll say that's good. And now we can get rid of the grid. I don't need to get out of here, grid. Look at that. Now we've got a thing. I'm a little worried that it's going to make me adhere to the whole box thing a little much, but we'll see. Let's start with whatever this building's going to be. Let's see. Does that make any sense? Or I think it'd be fine. Good. One thing that's cool about this is I can make everything kind of fit a specific, like make the UVs wrap properly so that there isn't a seam for like a wall or something, and I can do some like cool offset stuff, or rather parallax map stuff. Let's get rid of tops and bottoms here. So your basic things. And that's okay to be straight. Let's be all right. And what we need, that's going to be, how big are our regular wall things? They felt a little more, okay. So that one feels just a little tall, if I recall here. This. Let me see how this height feels, because this is the height that I'm looking at in Maya right now. Yeah, okay. That's a good for like first floor, second floor. Yeah, those heights seem okay. All right, those are the heights I'll be working with. That makes sense because that is the size of the texture that I've made for the material. All right. This will be interesting because obviously this now becomes like seeing the appropriate scale of this. These are really tiny buildings. I mean, that isn't necessarily bad. It's just different. That's all. It's all right. I want some overhang. We're not going to worry about it right now. We're just going to make... Oops. I swear this will all make sense. But for now, we're just gonna block it all out. Because then I can run around with it and see how it actually feels. We're gonna give ourselves a little bit more space here. I'll be making rooftops for these. That's why I'm not worrying about an actual top for them at the moment. But yeah, you can see now once we start getting stuff in that our scale is a smidge off, and that's all right. We can adjust accordingly. But first, I'm going to put the boxes that represent these things in, and then we'll know. Just popping in to say Happy New Year. Thank you, Jared. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Same to you. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, everyone. We're going to take this and rotate these over here to like that. You can see the like this alleyway that's been built here is just not, like, this is too small. We put the player here, like, yeah, that's okay going that way. I want something thin there, but then it just gets to be too much there. So we're gonna actually move this and probably do that. Yeah, I'm blocking the layout right now for 10 more minutes, and then off to lunch, and then, like I said, I'll be back after lunch doing more things. I'm just going to do this one cluster real quick and bring it in and see how that feels. I'm already stretching a little beyond, and that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. I just need to make sure what I'm building isn't stupid. So we're going to actually have that there. That's going to go there. This will go there. And then that, I think. And this can go here. There. That can come out a little more. And for this, I might just bring this whole thing out here a bit. So that's cool. Need to run. Have a great day. Later, Gunner. Thank you very much for hanging out. All right, let's just bring this in real quick. I got 8 minutes left. Let's just pop this in here. You know what? I'm going to build one along here just to have like the road size. Because this is going to be a larger ROAD. Some of the stream you did the other day, you assembled your set pieces in Unity. Do you still do that after layout, or do you... I was messing with the idea of doing a modular set, but I'm so used to working in Maya and creating kits in Maya and working with it there that I think I'm just going to stick with that because it's much faster for me. But also, I think there are some disadvantages to a modular kit I'd be willing to build for something this size anyway. Because if you want to actually have stuff like look good modularly, you got to have a lot of different pieces. And if you run into, like, obviously right now, this would require me to make like just a square pretty much. Unless I then wanted to make a small thing that's like that has some bricks and other like pillars and things to connect them, you know? Whereas like here, I can just build whatever shape I want, and then if I want a pillar, I'll make a pillar, and then I can easily move it and change its size and do whatever I want and adjust the UVs, and then I can bring that in, and it's still using the same number of materials but a little bit more control. If that makes sense. So I think I'm going to stick with this. Right now I want to block it out anyway, and that may dictate things further, but we'll see. Oh my god. Oops, no, not B, B. Go. Like, I don't want the main roads to feel particularly big either, but let's see. Let's go ahead and group these together. Maybe they need to take place in Spain. It's going to be searching like crazy for one town. Yeah, for sure. Okay, let's drop this in with the small amount of time we got left. Development, projects, Patreon, assets, art, models, buildings. All right, let's go ahead and get rid of these. Get out of here, get out of here, get out of here. And these cubes on the ground are items. The item system that I've built works sort of like Dark Souls, where when you get within a proximity, the thing pops up and it's like, this is the thing, and you press the button to collect. But I also have a save system set up that reads unique IDs of these individual objects, so if you've picked them up, it removes them from the world, so that's why when I load it up, those things go and disappear. I know everyone was wondering that. Chappé. So let's put ourselves here and get these above ground. These are there. There we go. It's the correct size. Okay. So this would be the main road, which is about the size I wanted. Like I said, I wanted like 3, you could have 3 people side by side. That's about what I got here. So that's cool. This is about as thin as I'd want to get. Like let's add to each of these real quick a mesh collider just so we can do some collision testing here. Yeah, okay. I mean, this is definitely the single story ones are definitely like they're the right height, but they just still feel a little weird. So I may make them a bit taller. But overall, yo, can I know more about this game you're making? Real quick, in the last 2 minutes before I leave for lunch. Then I'll be back. This is a Patreon prototype, so it's not meant to be a huge game. It's meant to just be kind of some core mechanic ideas and just basic gameplay akin to, if you're familiar, Mortuary Assistant prototype made like a little over 2 years ago. It was only like 5 minutes worth of gameplay. These will be a bit longer, but they are meant to be things that I get a game idea, I put it down real quick, let patrons play it, and then after I've made enough of them, if one of them sort of was more popular, I may put that one on itch and see if it gains traction, and if that does well, then maybe that'll become the next project, that sort of thing. So this is, you're basically an alchemist fighting the Inquisition, so you're basically an alchemist equivalent of Batman, kind of. Like, you're gonna have all these different like potions and gadgets and things related to alchemy, and the Inquisition is there doing horrible things to the place that you live. And story-wise, which would not really be in the prototype, I wrote this design doc that I shared on Patreon. The basically, you dabble in it, and then one of the, is it actually an Inquisitor? I forget, that's the name, isn't it? But they come to your town and are looking for heretics, and obviously that scares the shit out of you. But dealing with that, you discover that there's a small network of alchemists that have sort of started fighting against the Inquisition. Story-wise, I sort of bend Christian history and make it so that pretty much the whole don't follow false prophet things was like an instant fuck up. So as soon as Jesus departed, they like started following anybody that was like, I talked to God, just give me some money, right? And so that was a chance for the devil to get his hooks in. And so now when people, you know, see and speak to angels and stuff, it's actually demons, and the horrible things they do are even more horrible because they're, you know, satanic, which is even more evil. So, but that's the short version. But now it's time for me to go, because we're gonna go eat some food and I'm hungry. And then, like I was saying, we'll be back. Yeah, probably tacos. So everyone, wish me good luck in my eating. And as I said, I will be back afterwards, so check back in an hour or so. And we'll be doing more of this until I go pick up the kids from school. But there they are. Look at that. Thank you to the patrons. I got your names scrolling. I finally did it. Hooray for me. All right, everyone. I will do the things just in case you don't. In case you miss them. There's the social things. It's on the Twitter and the Discord. There we go. All right, I'm going to go eat tacos. I'll see you in a little bit. Bye, everybody. Keep an eye out on the Twitter and Discord for going live next. Love you all.